Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Welcome to the live stream. I'm so happy. Did you get a peek? Did you get a peek already? We'll talk about it in a little bit. I want to thank you all for joining the amazing live stream. Whether you are watching live, something in my head. Whether you're watching live or whether you're watching in retrospect, I do appreciate that because that's a great support. It's a great support for the channel. It's a great support for me. And, it's a great way to celebrate the beginning of the week on a lovely, beautiful Sunday. At least it's a beautiful Sunday here, nice and sunny, a little bit of clouds, but the sun is peeking in, so it is amazing. Hopefully everyone is doing amazing. Jared is coming in with the first comment of the day. Thank you so much, Jared, for coming in the chat. If you're new to this, if you've never been here before, don't forget to go to the chat. Type something, say hello. I am interacting with everyone. I say hello, I answer your questions. We talk about different things on the show, whether it's I Love Lucy, Munsters, Gilligan's Island. I'm kind of cheating here. I'm looking. Addams Family, the TV show. Just introduced the 60s Batman TV show, Hogan's Heroes, even Three Stooges, a bunch of great stuff. Thank you so much. And I'll shout out some of you. DJ William Palmerino, thank you for coming in. Melissa, Carissa, it's an Amaya thing. Finally, it's good that you're here, that you're here original. Awesome so much. Hello, Katie, Glenn, and Martin from Canada. Also, it's kind of a tradition now. Let me know where you are coming in from. Our first, let's say, input is from Ontario, Canada. Awesome. From out of the country, which is always great. Cheryl from Houston, Texas. I've been to Houston, Texas in general. SoCal. Awesome. That's where it's at. I have to rep California, right? Jared, you enjoyed the Batman video. Very interesting. Well, I appreciate that. Pennsylvania. Lovely state of Pennsylvania. I do want to go there. To visit. I've driven through Arizona. Charlie from Phoenix. New York. Been there. Lovely state. I've driven across most of the state. Oxnard. Great area. I fly over Oxnard a lot. Iowa. In Ceres, California. Puerto Rico. Awesome. U.S. territory off the coast of Florida. Very nice. Alabama. It's a flower in the rain. What is it? What do they call Tallulah Bankhead? The something foghorn? Not the red foghorn. Do you guys remember from the Tallulah Bankhead episode, Celebrity Next Door, Alabama Red, or something like that? Because she's from the Alabama Foghorn? Something like that. You guys will get it. You guys will let me know. We love Lucy. I love Lucy. Everyone loves Lucy. Connecticut. Awesome. Okay, guys and gals, couple things to say. Look at this. My shirts are finally in. They're going to be shipping ASAP. That is probably starting tomorrow. If you want to get one of these, there's a link in the description, should be there, or just go to rick9g.com. I have all sizes from small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, and triple extra large. So yeah, free shipping, just sending them out to you. I get these done myself. This is like a small little thing. It's not like a big gigantic factory. It's a little thing, but look, it's actually nice quality, nice over here. They are actually pretty comfortable, 100% cotton. And yeah, it's a great way to support the channel and get something from me. I can also sign them if you want for free. I don't have to sign them, meaning like that's your choice. So kind of cool. Also, I got some mugs in, more mugs in. People have been ordering the mugs. Thank you so much for that. And for the pre-orders, people have been ordering the shirts. Okay, so let me get right to it, guys and gals. I'll pop in and out here and there. I want to get to season 4 of I Love Lucy. I want to talk about the Hollywood episodes. I don't know, some of my favorites on the whole series. I want to look at Ricky Needs an Agent, because I was thinking about that episode. Do many people even remember this episode? Because I feel syndication didn't really run it that much, and it was a pretty good episode, in my opinion. It's one where Ricky gets upset and even gets a statue and like twists it like it was rubber. It was pretty funny. So very nice. Thank you, Lucy Chocolates. Wonderful name. I'm glad you like the shirts. Mugs are so awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, one of my brother's buddies is a good drawer, and he drew this. I can't draw, but he drew that for me, and came out really well, and a great message. I mean, wake up with this cup of coffee, cup of tea, cup of water, whatever it is, with that in the morning, makes you feel good. So this episode, let me tell you a little bit about it in case people who don't know, because it's a great one. It's called Ricky Needs an Agent, episode 126, filmed on Thursday, April 7th, 1955. 39.2 rating share out of 63. Not the highest, which is interesting. The Harpo Marx did really well. And then this one had a little bit of a drop. Bayer was in this, and that's pretty much it. So in this one, pretty much Ricky is released from his contract because Lucy does a little bit of issues here and there. She kind of interferes because Ricky's being driven so hard. She's trying to get him like a better deal. And they're like, okay, if you want to get him a better deal, we'll release him. And so Ricky pretty much got fired, in essence. He got let go from his contract. And so he freaked out. He tore apart the entire hotel room, which is kind of to me, I don't know, it shows his acting chops, kind of a funny thing there. And then, of course, he was able to get his job back at the studio, saying that the woman who went there, who was Lucy, was actually like a crazy lady pretending to be his thing. But like I said, when I got the DVDs, I've never seen this episode. It was never shown in syndication. So I don't know how many of you seen it, how many ring a bell to you. So yeah, just kind of cool. Keith, so you just went to the Lucy Desi Museum in Jamestown, a must-see. I went in March. If you want to see my trip, I go over all the Lucy sites. Just check out my videos. They're on YouTube, so I think you will enjoy that. If you haven't been there, it's really good to check it out. See what's up there. You released him from his contract, and now Desi's walking in like shaking because apparently he's been dancing with so many people to promote his upcoming movie, and he has like the jitters, kind of like, I don't know, if you go to the gym and after your legs are wobbly, it's kind of like that. And it's a comical scene. Like I always say, it's very underrated. You see his lifts, gigantic lifts on his shoes, something that I pointed out in one of my last I Love Lucy videos, which a lot of you loved. That got over 100,000 views. I think it's probably around 150 or 130, 150. Now, that's amazing. That's amazing that you guys supported that. So thank you. It is such an underrated episode, Jared. I would agree. I would completely agree. And I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bunk when they're like, the episode was violent, quote unquote. Even the Stooge episode, there's one where they don't show because it's violent, because apparently like Mo gets like a spike in his eye, and you can clearly tell it's rubber. And it's like the effect is that it's going through his eye, and he's like, ah, and that comes out and he's not hurt. And I'm like, really? With the stuff that's really on TV? It's like, have you seen The Walking Dead? I mean, Three Stooges, that's nothing. Come on, that's nothing. I am glad that you enjoy the channel, child of Hashem. How are you? And great. Now, if you go to the Jamestown Museum or the Lucy Museum in Jamestown, you will see this Hollywood set. Now, many people ask, is it the exact same set? No, it's not, unfortunately, but it was pretty much faithfully recreated for the museum on like a professional basis. So it was as close as we will ever get to not actual having like the actual pieces of lumber and set that were used, right? But they went and they, like, if you will go there, you will swear that's it. Like, even if you're like, I was looking at every single detail, and it was very, 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 very close. Yes, it's colorized because you can see it, but it kind of throws you off because you're like, really? Was it these colors? But yeah, you will notice that the 50s are very bright. Also, remember, this is black and white. That's how the show was originally shown. And so some of the colors were altered on purpose. A lot of pinks and a lot of like bright reds, because reds come out as black, really, really nice black. Black doesn't even come out as nice as black, if that makes sense. Like a light green comes out really well, and like a lighter shade. And so think about that. There's a lot of shades of the gray, right? And if you get a lot of similar colors, like maybe your homes would be or whatever, the palette would be very flat. And so they had to make things pop, make the characters pop. If you notice here, like Ethel, what she's wearing, Lucy, what she's wearing, they're always popping with the background. And so that's on purpose. They never have like the same colors like as the background. That's very purposeful. It's something that I've never really talked about, but I think that is something that, I don't know, I want to maybe cover in a video. So awesome. Where once was a heart. Howdy. Howdy to you as well. Thank you. I'm glad you like the green screen. I have no idea about Hallmark Channel. Nope. I have no idea why they did what they did. Yeah, the Addams Family house. Sorry, my eye's itching. Basically, a lot of the background, like the wallpaper, was pink. I'm talking about like hot pink, like bright pink. That didn't mean that. Let's see. Like if you have the Addams Family movie in color, like in the 90s, it's not pink. That's because it's in color. It's more dark and dingy. So again, remember the colors were for the black and white palette, not for you to enjoy it in color, if that makes sense. So yes. You have a replica of the Ricardo's famous painting. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the one in the apartment or the one in the Hollywood set? Because there are a lot of nice little paintings that they have. So it's pretty cool. Oh, and this is great. So Lucy now is pretending to be Ricky's agent. She's getting ready to go to the studio and say like he needs like a movie. He needs to stop all this crazy promotion that is not doing any good. He needs to be in a movie. And so Ricky's like, well, have you listened to my song? And she's like trying to hurry him up. Now this scene reminds me a lot of the one with the freezer, where Ricky is kind of serenading Ethel so that Lucy can get all the steaks in the freezer, all the meat, the two sides of cow, right? Or the two sides of beef. Really funny. Oh, Cheryl, you're watching this episode on Amazon Prime. Yeah, so if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. Of course, Amazon Prime is paid, and so yes. But if you happen to have it, you can watch it. You can watch a lot of I Love Lucy episodes. Hulu also paid, but you can watch it on there. It's not on Netflix. What else? You can find it on other like video sites on the internet. I'll just let you guys like find that out on your own. Or you can just get the DVDs and watch whatever you want, whenever you want. Yes. They probably sold the freezer. That's a good question, William. That's just my guess. I wonder what happened to that freezer. Remember in episode 1, season 1, where Lucy was frozen in the freezer and they had to chill her out? What happened to that freezer? Remember, Uncle Oscar, Ethel's Uncle Oscar, sold it to her. Yeah, what do you think happened? I think they probably just sold it. They just, like, in the frame of the story, they were just like, let's just get rid of it. It's more trouble than anything. Maybe they sold it back to Uncle Oscar. Who knows? Maybe they gave it to him. They lost so much money on the show. Characters, especially Ricky, right? Remember when they bought the diner and then they sold it at a loss? Mike Wheeler. Hello. First-time viewer, but long-time subscriber. Awesome. I'm glad that you happen to join the live streams. The live streams are great way to just get acquainted with people, say hi. Another thing I want to say. In terms of the comments, guys and gals, a lot of people are leaving comments on videos, and I do appreciate that. But if you ever see someone who's new, if you ever see a comment to someone who just popped in, feel free to say hello to them, to welcome them to the channel if you're someone who's been there. Like, that's part of this community. And so, if anyone has a question, because I can't get to everyone. But I mean, that's what we do. It's not just me answering everyone. Feel free to chime in, say hello. And that's what's great about subscribing. You become part of this family. So if you haven't yet, take a chance to hit that subscribe button. It is free. The like button, it is free. And it does help me out so much. So I appreciate it. Surgery green. Yes, there is surgery happening behind the screen. So that's why I use it, so that you guys aren't in on the surgery proceedings. Charlie, great. Now, I'm not a watcher of the Brady Bunch. Maybe some of you are. You guys can chime in. But they stole the locked in the freezer story. Interesting. A lot of shows borrowed, inspired by, whatever you want to use. Doesn't bother me. From I Love Lucy. Handcuffs episode. Almost every sitcom has an episode where they get locked in handcuffs. Gilligan's Island and so many more. I want to make a video about that, but it's really, really interesting. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you and your amazing support. Thank you so much. Yeah, Johnny, I would say that. Imagine if you had to pay to use YouTube. YouTube is an amazing tool. It allows me to do what I want to do, my hobby, bring you this amazing content. And I always say nothing in the world is free, but YouTube is. They run a couple ads. You can skip them. You can watch them all the way and support the person who's on the channel. So I do appreciate those who do that. And it just takes a second. So I do appreciate that. Very, very cool. Would you say that Lucy was stolen from the honeymooners? Interesting theory there, where once was a heart. What do you guys think about that? Was Lucy stolen from the honeymooners? That's a good, point of discussion there. Family Matters did do a handcuff episode, the one with Steve and Carl, right? Is that the one you're thinking of? You want me to do more Family Matters? I would love to do more Family Matters. If people want it, I would do it. Of course. I mean, if it falls into the frame of, sitcoms or shows or things like that. Even Twilight Zone's not a sitcom, but it's a show that it's like old and stuff that I love. And so, yeah. Wouldn't that be great if there was an I Love Lucy streaming channel? Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Happy Days. I used to watch a lot of Happy Days when I was younger. And as I got older, less and less. I pretty much stopped watching it as I got older. Addams Family favorite episode. I'm a Lurch guy. Out of everyone, I love Lurch. I think Fester was cool, but I always saw him as like a second-rate character. But I think Lurch was like in the background, just trying to shine through. And the ones were him, and because he's such a rarely seen character, he just pops in and out, kind of like Newman on Seinfeld, And so seeing him in his own episodes, like with his mom, I love that one. The one where he learns how to dance, I think that's really silly because it's like this big, gigantic guy learning how to dance awkwardly. So it's great. You're wrong. Oh, Johnny, I definitely love older shows more than modern ones. Absolutely, bar none. Like, I have basically like a little showcase here where I put my DVDs. None of these shows are newer than 1990, basically. Or, yes, showed or aired at one point in 1990. Everything is pre-1990. On this side, not so much because I have some newer movies and stuff, like 2002 and stuff. But, yeah. Ooh, favorite on Gilligan's Island. I don't have a favorite on Gilligan's Island. I have so many. I love Quick Before It Sings. I love the glue one. I love, many different ones that are really, really good. And then the one with the glue where the boat starts to come apart. That one. What else? The Mars Smile, You're on Mars Camera. Quick Before It Sinks, where the professor is like pulling up and down the different things, and then the hut is going up and down. Oh, I love that episode so much. Billy Reed, Pawn Stars, I watched that show too. Bought Gilligan's Island coconut mugs from the show. Now, interesting thing about the coconuts, they actually started using coconuts and then they were too fragile, they were breaking. So they actually kind of made them, I don't want to say ceramic, but I do want to say ceramic, but they were made out of like a more durable material and they almost last forever. It's kind of like a mug like this, but in the shape of a coconut, and they were made to look, and plus with the inferior quality of 60s like TV, then it looked pretty good. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Ow. The salad dressing episode where Lucy comes on, she's like, oh, I love her little voices. Oh, there she comes in. There comes crazy Lucy dressed as the agent with her little nerdy glasses. And she kind of looks like a business agent person. And she's like, Mr. Riley, please, would you not release Mr. Ricardo from his contract? He's like, I'm sorry, Mrs. Ricardo. We're releasing her. We're releasing him. He is released. He's released from his contract. And she comes back and stuff comes through the window. Hello, Luna from Brazil. Awesome. She's like, down, Riley. Right when he comes in. Right when she comes in, right? She's like, no, just because I'm a woman in the business field, I don't want to be treated any differently. And the guy's like, okay. I forgot about that, down, Riley. And now the secretary's like trying to push the door closed, and Lucy's like trying to come in. Oh my gosh. She's so funny. She's so great. I remember Lucy practiced all of that. Every facial expression, every movement down to the T, because she was lost when it came to improv. She could not do improv at all. Lucille Ball was one of the most serious individuals. Look at her interviews and the fact of how she transformed herself with a script that was very descriptive. She could do anything in that script. She could make that come alive, and that was her gift, right? Aunt Martha's old-fashioned salad dressing. Yes. Now, didn't Lucy say that was her Aunt Martha, right? But then Ethel also said that she had an Aunt Martha and Uncle Elmo. Remember that one? So I guess Martha was a common name, or maybe an heir. We just have to say that it was a common name. They both had Martha, right? Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. Let me rewind a little bit. And let me see, because someone's asking me a question about this episode. Lucy pops in from the open window in the back while Mr. Riley is there dictating a letter to his secretary. She kind of peeks in, says something, scares him, and then he falls back on the chair. That was definitely purposeful. You can just see how he's leaning back kind of on purpose. It's not like he lost his balance. And it was a very short fall. And the chair did go back really, really far. It's not just like this, and it slipped and fell back. So yes, that was prepared. That was part of the fun. And who's Salad Witch? Ooh, Charlie, this is a great question. So Rick, do you personally feel I Love Lucy jumped the shark when they moved to Connecticut? Here's the thing, Charlie. Here's my thoughts, okay? Not to say that this is right, not to say that this is the ultimate word. This is just my opinion. I think by the time season 5 came, we had a different. They came back from Europe, and they came back so strong. They came back very strong. When they came back from Europe, okay, remember that last episode with the cheese? That was a very strong episode. But then they came back with the Bob Hope episode. Not that Bob Hope was amazing. I love Bob Hope. But then the mood of the whole show changed. Little Ricky aged a full year in the span of a couple months. And he was actually speaking now instead of like a little baby that you hold, right? And so that mood changed. He started getting more dialogue. That's anyone that gets more dialogue on any show means less dialogue for everyone else. There was a lot less Lucy-Desi interaction. Yes, they were interacting, but compared to season 1, no, a lot less. Little Ricky was in the mix. Friend Ethel were in the mix, but it wasn't as much. The vibes kind of changed, in my opinion, on the show. It was more about celebrities coming on the show. We had Orson Welles. We had just all these people who started coming in, especially in the comedy hour. And yeah, I think they could have done a lot more in the apartment, but it's one of those things of when you start growing, start making money, you want to make things better in your mind. And so they decided, let's just have a bigger set in Connecticut. But that was kind of their downfall too. So it's very, very crazy. I love when Ricky says, yes, honey, where is the cheese? And it's just how he says it. Like, that wasn't planned. I think it was just like his emotion coming through in the scene. And it came out sounding really weird. Like, watch that part, like in the immigration area or the customs area. And you have Frank Nelson as an immigration, customs officer. And he's like, where is the cheese? And Ricky, yes, honey, where is the cheese? Oh my gosh. Oh, Dale M., your favorite episode was when they went to California and they stopped at the motel for the night. Lower Slobovia? That is awesome. Oh my gosh. So you like the racehorse episode, William, in the Lucy-Desi Comedy Hour. So it's an hour long, a lot of talk about gambling, a lot of talk about the horse in the house. Well, the horse is in the house most of the time. You have Fred kind of changing his roles, not being the cheapskate. He's kind of flirting with Betty Grable and you know, like giving her money so that she can enter the horse into the race to make money for little Ricky. It's like this whole chain of money thing going on. It's pretty funny. Mrs. Ricardo. Lucy, yes, Lucy was like, what horse? And they see a big gigantic horse on the stairs. Oh, and this is great. Now, I don't want to say it's a little awkward, but this is where Lucy is trying to tell Ricky that he's released from his contract, and he doesn't believe her. He's almost like laughing. She has to tell him a lot of times, and then he even laughs. He kind of laughs it off, and then she explains it, and then he's like, what? And he freaks out, and then he starts his rage, and the first thing he does, he just like hits his foot, and she thinks that if she gets hit, or if he hits his hand, he just goes like that. And then his eyes right now are bugging out like this because he's like, his anger's building, and he goes, and she goes, like she got hit in the thing. Her hat falls off backwards. And then she's like, here, break this. And he breaks, like, I don't know, a ceramic statue. He breaks, these are all breakable items, right, that they purposefully chose so that they could explode on contact. There's like this little statuette, boom, gets broken. These are all things that weren't really in most of the episodes, but there's like ceramic going everywhere. Boom, boom. And then he's like, what do I do with this? She's like, I don't know, smash it anyway. We can get it fixed later. And then he's like, I need more to smash. So then there's this big statue. It's like bronze or whatever, and he bends it. Obviously, it's not bronze. And Lucy goes, oh, man. To me, this is the golden scene of the episode. He's like, ay, qué barbaridad, Lucy. Ay, no sé qué voy a hacer. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he just like stammers out of the apartment. Lucy starts cleaning, and then the Mertzes come in. Great. I love that scene. So good. So good. Russell Wright. No, there are no adult characters. The only ones that are alive are the child actors, basically the little Rickies, the ones who played little Rickies, 6 of them. I don't know about the first, which was John Ganser, I believe, the first little newborn baby. Yes, so I am not sure, but yes, the other side of twins are. Hello, Kennedy. Nice to see you on the live stream. Awesome. Wasn't Ted Cassidy credited as Thing in the credits? No, absolutely not. Avery, he was not credited as, because in it, I was going to say as Thing. Thing was credited, so Thing played by itself, I think it said, or yes, itself. And yes, but that was Ted Cassidy. And then there was I believe, assistant director who played when Ted Cassidy was in the scene, and he obviously both of his hands were there, and then it was there. It was someone else. I did a whole video on that explaining why it happened and little secrets that Lurch did or Ted Cassidy did. It was really, really cool. So check that out. I think you would really enjoy it. Michael Ian, nice to see you in the chat. Mama Sarah. So you said you like the episode where she thinks Ricky's going to murder her. Now, that one's interesting because although I believe it's the 5th episode that runs in order, it's the first ever I Love Lucy episode that's recorded or that was filmed. It was filmed not with 3. It's the only one that was filmed with 4 cameras, and they thought that was just too much. So they actually pulled 1 camera off, and they stayed with the 3, and they thought that was just enough. And it's really cool because if you watch that episode, you will see the problem with the 4 cameras is the one basically on the end would capture the things that you didn't want to see. So it would capture like the set and then part of the other set, and then they would have to move it. There's a lot of bloopers in that one because they're still trying to perfect the 3 or the 4 camera method, the multi-camera thing, and then it was shot like on the spot. There were no cuts, things like that. And so that was just too much, and then they figured it out. So yeah, kind of cool. I had to refill my cup, and I'm spilling stuff everywhere. Dang. Okay. The time has come. I love that. I love how he acts like all like he's taking it seriously, like he's going. I'm not saying he wasn't taking it seriously, but he was like Yeah, like he was taking charge. He wasn't afraid. And he was freaking out. He like had to be wheeled in the wheelchair, and Lucy's like pushing the wheelchair. Vitamin Benjamin is your favorite episode. Awesome. William, all that info is on my website, so go check it out. Link is in the description. You can check all that out. Free shipping. I don't charge any shipping for everything. It's just like a one for all the items. It's just like a one thing. You just pay for the item and that's it. And there's water on my iPad. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, that's a great way to support the channel. That goes all toward the channel for equipment, reference material, giveaway stuff. Oh, and I do have something on a giveaway in this live stream that I'm going to do. The only thing I'm not going to tell you what the item for the giveaway is, but it's a big item. And why don't I just do it now? So for those of you who have been here and have stayed here, this is all you have to do. If you're on my Facebook Rick9G page, go there. You can go there right now. All you got to do is message me with your full name and your mailing address, and I will send you something related to I Love Lucy. That's it. It's that simple. I will obviously choose one person, and then I'll mail it to you. But I have an extra I Love Lucy item that I do want to send out. So go ahead and do that. Don't delay. Leave the live stream open another thing, or just do it right after the live stream. So yeah, enjoy. Dave from Maine, who do you like better, Norman Fell or Don Knotts? Don Knotts. I love Don Knotts. And I think they're both funny, but they're both funny in different ways. Norman Fell was more speech-wise funny. And that's the thing. I never really differentiated between the types of comedy. Norman Fell said things that were really funny, and his facial expressions were kind of funny, but that wasn't his thing. That wasn't a strong point. Don Knotts was more facial expressions, his bugged out eyes, his twisted mouth, his body coiled up with his facial expressions again, and his head was like Norman Fell wasn't really physical, and that's the difference. And I'm more into physical acting, where your body is part of it as well, versus like Groucho Marx. I love Groucho Marx because he's like the king of gab, but he wasn't very physical except when he like walked. But yes, most of his comedy was here. Right? Versus Harpo Marx, his comedy was not here. Yes, it was just not here, but it was in his entire body. And so, yeah. No problem, Gloria. I'm glad you enjoy the videos and what is going on in terms of the channel. So thank you so much. Wow, the episode's over? That was so fast. I'm going to look at the tour. I love this one where they tour Richard Widmark's place. Now, if you guys and gals want to let me know, after this, do you want to talk more about the Munsters? Do you want to talk about Addams Family, Gilligan's Island? We did Twilight Zone last time, so I won't do Twilight Zone this time. Hogan's Heroes, any of those shows, just let me know in the chat. I'll be happy and kind of go through it and choose the one that most people choose. Yes, Michael Ian, so you are on Instagram, and I see you very busy doing your video production stuff. That's awesome. Keep it up, stay strong, and work hard, because that's what you want to do. I could see that, and so that's very good. A lot of people connect with me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I have awesome pictures. If you guys will know, I went to a special movie/TV museum recently, and I'm going to be posting videos on it in the near future. So yeah, and that's only on Instagram. So that's why there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. There's a lot of cool ways to connect and see a lot of cool stuff. Ever watched The Untouchables? I used to watch is it the 80s or the 90s show? The one with Kevin Costner, was it that one? Oh yes, I saw when they did honor Desi Arnaz. That's really nice. I do appreciate that, because I feel like oftentimes Desi is put aside because Lucy is put in the forefront, and I think they should both be highlighted because they were a team. It's like, it's a shame. It's like Abbott and Costello, right? Or it's like Laurel and Hardy. It's like if someone like puts Hardy here and Laurel's like in the back, or if they put Laurel, Hardy, Laurel, whatever that would be. But it's literally Desi Arnaz. Desi Arnaz was on screen, off screen. Lucy was pretty much just on screen. And yeah, they both need each other. It was symbiotic. Desi couldn't have gotten on the show without Lucy, and Lucy couldn't have done a show without Desi. Simple as that. Yazzie Gomez, have you ever watched the OG Batman? You should check out, because I have all the episodes, and my last video was just on the OG Batman. Oh, and there's Lucy. Lucy trying to box Ricky, and he's like holding her hand. She's like trying to hit him. She can't. It's really funny. Again, very physical. It's a nice thing. She's trying to get at him, and she can't, and he's just like on her forehead, and Fred's like giggling in the background. I love that. I love those little things, because I mean, it's funny to him, even though they know what's going on. Like, it's really, really great. I agree, Jared. You're absolutely right. Miss Backstager, thank you for joining us. Hello, hello. Of course, better late than never. You're not that late. You're just 36 minutes late. No, I'm kidding. No, that's awesome. I tell people that's what this is for. Feel free to come in, out. I'd rather you stay as long as possible. And there are right now about 70 people live on the thing. Only 38 people have likes. So if you haven't, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out, and I do appreciate it, guys and gals. Very, very helpful for me and the channel. Because like I said, if you're on here and you watch and you're enjoying the content, why not just subscribe? Why not just thumb up? It does help me. It does help me out. So, great. I just see a square, Lucy Chocolates. I don't know what that is. Would you ever like to make a TV show or film? Not that I wouldn't, but I would really like to have a good idea. I want to put good quality stuff out there, if that makes sense. So I don't know. It's a good question. I would like to do something where I could possibly, I don't want to remake Lucy either, but you know me, if I would ever do something like that, even if it's a small project, I would be super attentive to detail and get like really, 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 I wouldn't even get famous people, because I think the best people are the people that are most unknown, most like underground, who really like study them, not just, hey, I'm going to get Angelina Jolie and put her in as Lucy. You know, that's, I don't know. I don't think that's how it works. You got to get people who know, who are fans, and do it, you know, kind of like all these fan films. But I don't know, just something to consider. Yes, Michael, thank you so much. Enjoy the game, William. Thank you, KL. I appreciate the thumbs up. Awesome. And Grace as well. You think so, KL? You think Lucy would have loved me? She would have been like, "Aw, there's Rick talking about my show." I'd be like, "Oh, there's Rick talking about my show." She's like, "That guy's crazy." She's like, "He talks more about my show than I even talk about my own show." She would say. Oh my gosh. I'd make a great Rod Serling. All I need is a suit, right? But I got to get that really tight haircut, or it's like he's got the perfect like thing, and I got to get one of those cigarettes and just get the eyebrows going. Not really the sound, but you know, just get that somber look. Biting my lips a little bit. I mean, if I'm doing like a faithful imitation in an honorable way, right? Not in a making fun way, like to honor the man, right? No, I would never smoke. I would just, they have these things where it's like, it looks like it's lit, but it's not. You know, it's like a prop. I'd be another little Ricky. Oh my gosh. Davida, nice to meet you. Nice to see you on the live stream. Very, very cool. By the way, guys and gals, if I happen to miss a question, please never take it personally. There's so many things here, and I try to get to as many as I can, and many different people, meaning so I don't just pick the same people. It's kind of like when you're a teacher, which I was, and so forth. So yeah, it's just pretty cool to try to connect with people and answer questions, because a lot of you have really good questions, and I want to give you a good answer. I don't just want to be like, yep, yeah, and so yeah, so just be patient, ask again, and I'll try to answer. What state are you in, Dave? California. Jordan Peele or Rod Serling? Come on, we got the Rod, man. Rod Serling is the real guy. Now, I love Jordan Peele. He did a great job with Us. I just think you can't equate them, you know. Rod Serling is the man. How did they keep let me see. How did they keep the people in the audience from spoiling a show if it was taped? How do they keep from people? Well, the thing is, I mean, there's no social media at the time. So then the idea of like spoiling it, I mean, wasn't a big thing. Now, I didn't know if they had to sign any contract or anything, not saying anything. That's a good question. I've never really read about that, but that's a good question. Again, if this was done today, which is some shows, you do have to sign something saying you're not going to really put any information. Same with movies. If you get like early access to movies that aren't out, you can't spoil the movie. If you happen to do, and it's on a YouTube account or like on Twitter or something like that, they will get you in trouble. You can get sued. So not a good thing. Not a good thing. Davida, have you been to Lucy's home? Do you mean the home in Beverly Hills? Have I been? I haven't been inside it, but I've definitely passed it. Rod Serling is the best, especially when he shows up out of nowhere. That's the best thing. It's almost like he's an omnipotent power who's just beyond the story, right? Who just comes in like the narrator. It's just like he never ages. He's just like all present, you know. It's just, I don't know, it's the embodiment of that type of mystery character. He never has a name. You can call him a narrator, but what was he? This is a great question for you guys. What was Rod Serling's character? Was he Rod when he was coming out there, or was he someone else? Was he playing a certain role? Because I don't know, I'm not satisfied with him being the narrator. I don't think that, because then he would just speak his words and not visibly come on camera, right? It would just essentially be him talking like in the background, like most narrators do. So he's not really a narrator per se. Is he the one who controls the Twilight Zone? Is he the one who activates the Twilight Zone? Oh, interesting. Dave, great question. I have never ever done a video about Fantasy Island. I want to watch some of the episodes and maybe look into it. That's a good question, Time Buddy. Anyone still living that was in the audience when they taped I Love Lucy? One that was guaranteed. That's Lucy Arnaz Luckenbill. She was in, I believe, watching the Scotland episode live. She said she saw that. So kind of cool. You think that, Jared? You think that Rod actually controls the Twilight Zone? It's his thing? I kind of think that. That's what I've always, I don't know. I've never thought about it, but I've kind of just like assumed, if that makes sense, like in a subconscious way, because he gets that all-powerful feeling. So I don't know. He's the one to invite you to the Twilight Zone, so he's like a gatekeeper then, right? I have seen the long trailer, Michael. I'm trying to look for it. I think it's on the other side, but yes, I have seen it. Yep. Have I ever crossed into the Twilight Zone? I've had life experiences that are like, oh yes, Twilight Zone. Oh, okay. Let me go back to this episode here and talk a little bit about things. So this is the scene where they're on the bus and they're looking at all the different like Hollywood homes, right? We have the bus driver. We have, now he appeared in the Three Stooges episode with Shemp, which was really, really cool. I haven't gotten to Shemp yet, so that would be something I'm going to point out for sure. And then in the back, you have one of Lucy's best friends. You have Bennett Green. I forgot her name. Her name is escaping me right now. But that scene where they're on the bus, the actual, when you see Lucy sitting and the bus driver, that's not an actual bus. That's on set. And the bus scenes where the bus is driving and so forth, that was added later after the episode was filmed. So, yeah. Barbara Pepper, thank you, Original. I appreciate that. Barbara Pepper, there we go. She was originally thought that she might be a good Ethel Mertz, but they decided no. She had kind of a questionable personal life where they didn't think it would be okay with the show. Same thing with William Frawley. However, William Frawley had a history of credits to him in movies and popularity and so forth. So Barbara Pepper kind of did it, and so that played against her a little bit, and they decided not. But Lucy really loved her, and so he was like, "Well, just come on the show every once in a while, do little parts." She was like, "Sure, I'll do it." And then, well, hold on, let me see. Is that who I think it is? That lady on the bus? I think. Yeah, I have to really pay attention to that because I might have. I won't even say it because then I'll spoil it. But I think I noticed someone on the bus who was actually like coming in a little bit. Well, no, I'll have to do more research on that. But that's cool. That's cool. Sure is, honey. Seat's taken, right? So Lucy sits on top of the lady, not noticing she's there, and she's like, "Sorry, this seat's taken." Lucy wants. She's like, "Sure is, honey." Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. You know what? And that's something that was interesting. I kind of hesitated to put my first I Love Lucy episode on because I thought no one was going to watch it. I really did. I was like, no one likes Lucy as much as I do. And it wasn't like a thing where I thought I was the biggest fan, but I've never met someone in my life. Like I told people I love Lucy and they're just like, oh, okay. Like no one was interested. So I kind of felt alone in my love for the show. And then I just put it on. I was like, well, maybe I'll get 100 people. Maybe I'll get 50 people who like it. And then the video hit like a few tens of thousands. I was like, what? And then when my first video hit 1 million, I was like, what? So I was like, so if 1 million people saw it, there's millions of people that like the show, like me. And so that told me, let's make more videos. And I did. Yes, Steven, Lucy's house is still in Beverly Hills. It's a little bit remodeled. I think the second floor was remodeled and more of it overall was remodeled. Yes, definitely. C. Swain, great questions. Where do you do most of your research? I get asked that a lot, and I'm not too vocal about that. And the reason is because I don't know. I think that's just part of the kind of the secret. It's kind of if I was a cook, and it's like, what's your recipe for the food thing? All I will tell you is I do a lot of research in many different media, and that's the work that I put in. That is the work to find these little snippets, to find these little secrets, to put it all together into something that makes sense and make a video out of it, right? And that's the challenge. That's the challenging part of what I do for me. To come up with new ideas, to come up with new things. Like right now, like Lucy is hanging on the wall with the grapefruit and the dog's barking, right? And it's like, can I do a whole 10-minute video on that scene? Probably. But then what can I focus on? And that, again, that's the art of what I do. And sometimes it comes out great when I do it and I'm surprised. And sometimes it doesn't come out great. And then I'm like, well, try next time, So yeah, it's a great thing. And I love to do it. Can you visit her house? It's a private property, so I would not go up to the house. If you're on the street and you want to take some pictures, by all means. But just remember, if you were someone who lived there and had nothing to do with Lucy, I mean, yes, you're taking that into consideration, but it is private property, so keep that in mind if you ever do come out. But I've come out and seen it, stayed on the sidewalk, and that's about it. Pass by, take a couple pictures, keep walking. Right? Michael Ian, is there a moment you wished you want to teach Lucy a lesson, or you would go with her act? Oh, I'd go in with her shenanigans. What's the point of stopping her? I like to have some fun with her crazy and zany ideas, right? 1000 North Roxbury Drive. It's a nice address, isn't it? Miss Backstager, not only have I seen the Ugly Lucy statue in photos, I've seen it in person and I've seen it up close. And yeah, there's more to be desired, but it's still there. And the newer statue's there, and that's much better. Oh, and this is great. Now, again, and I always like to remind people because some people don't know this, and when I read this and I find it out, it's weird sometimes because I read these things or I find out about them and I kind of assume that everyone knows when I read it because it's like, well, it's common knowledge. I don't want to say something that everyone knows, right? But then I say it and then I'm surprised how many people don't know. And so we're all learning. And this is great because it's pegged as Richard Widmark's house. That's not the inside of Richard Widmark's house. It's a set. And it was a specific room in a specific house that never exists, basically. So that game room, they just thought it was funny because they wanted to do a scene with Lucy and like a bear, and that whole bear scene, and it only really worked in that atmosphere. So what they would do, and the writers, Madeline P. Davis and Bob Carroll Jr. and Jess Oppenheimer admitted they thought about something funny that they wanted Lucy to do. So let's say they thought about, hey, wouldn't it be funny, like a bear skin, put Lucy under it and make her act like a bear? But how can we get her in that? How can we make an episode that makes sense? So they would work backwards. They're like, well, she had to wear it maybe in a room where they would have it, a museum, maybe a house, maybe like a rich person's house. That works. Which rich person? And so they would do that and go backwards. Well, how would Lucy get to there? Well, she would take a tour. And then why would she want to take a tour? Well, because Ricky didn't pay attention to her. And boom, you got an episode. That's kind of how they did it. Lucy with the pizza. How do they get Lucy to do some crazy stuff with pizza? Well, I don't know. Lucy doesn't know anyone who's oriented with pizzas or whatever. But when they went to Italy, they knew someone who was Italian who did pizza, and that's how they did it. So it's kind of cool. Arthur, this is a great question. Do you think Lucille Ball was ever over being Lucy? I mean, the whole shtick. I don't want to speak for her. I can give you my opinion. I think she really enjoyed what she did. And I think she really loved, from what I heard from interviews, like trying to go into her mind, right? And what she says, really paying attention. I think she loved the fact that, I mean, this is work, right? This is hard work, however you like to put it. It's different kind of work. It's stuff that most people don't do, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. They worked 5 days a week most of the day, right? And they had 2 days off, and they would work, 37 continuous weeks, right? Just like most of us, maybe even more, less, whatever. But I mean, there's a lot of work, a lot of practice that goes into rehearsals and coming up with this and perfecting it, right? And she said that she really enjoyed to be recognized just for her work. And I understand that. It's like that she made an impact with her life. It's not just she made people laugh, but that she recognized that she connected with people. I think we all want to connect. And so I think that's what she liked to do, whether it was with Lucy or with another character like Stone Pillow, where she played another character. She wanted to connect with people. And I think that's what she enjoyed doing. Lucy's under the bear. And Ricky stepped on her paw or her hand, and she goes, like, I've never noticed that till now. And then the big Saint Bernard like sits right on top of her. I'm pretty sure that's some food or something on because he sniffed the rug and then he got right on it. Lucy's trying to get up. That's a heavy dog. That is a really heavy dog. At least 150 pounds. At least 150 pounds. Lucy on the Roof, the musical. If you go to any state, ooh, great question. I haven't been to Florida and most of the sites in Florida. Like I'm a big touristy guy, so I like theme parks and stuff. So I want to do that, but I also want to go to Texas to actually like visit the state and see it really well. Think about doing a Hollywood Boulevard live stream around the Lucy Star and possibly the Wax Museum. I'll be happy to fund the event. Well, I appreciate that. I don't think it would need to be funded. I'm just thinking the main thing would be like battery power. Because my phone will run out of battery so fast. And it's really chaotic. I don't know if a lot of you, because I know maybe a lot of you haven't been to Hollywood. It's really chaotic and it's not as peaceful as you think. It's actually went a little bit ago. It's chaos. It's like a tourist trap. It is not fun per se. Like you can have fun, but it's just mob hordes of people. And so, yeah, definitely. What other voices do you do? That sounds you make. Oh, I do voices all the time. All the time. Guys and gals, I'm not ignoring you. Believe me. Believe me. I'm trying to get to as many people as possible. There's 80 people on here. Believe me, I love to answer people's questions. I just answered your question about Mike's Solar Projects, about Hollywood Boulevard. And let's see, are you a Muppets fan? As a kid, I used to watch a lot of it. Do they charge the people in the audience? Nope, it was free, I believe, from what I read. Yep. Do you watch Here's Lucy or The Lucy Show? I've watched both, and they're both okay. I think they're a little bit of a step down from I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy convention, that's a lot of work. I would love that. I don't know. I'm not a great organizer. Let me tell you that. I've tried organizing things and I'm just not great. There are talented people who can do that. So if someone can like do the venue and everything, I'm kind of saying someone do the work, but I don't have the clout. Like I don't have the talent, the means or anything to do that. I would love a place. I would just do like a get together. It's like, hey, meet me here. That's my organizational skills. But yeah, I would not know how to do that. Yeah, and that's another thing. I appreciate that, Arthur. If you do want to connect with me, I answer pretty much everyone who asks like a question or wants to say hi. That's what my Facebook is for. And people message me all the time. People write me letters. And in terms of that, I get back to you with an email, or I try to get back to as many people as I can. And it's just interesting how I'm like one person, and then everyone watches me, and then I like there's 46,000 out there, and it's like I'll try to get to everyone. Sherry Shio, hello. I love seeing the questions too, because a lot of you asked really great questions that I've never thought of. So it's great. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. All in the Family, I've never watched an episode. Could you believe that? Hogan's Heroes. Yeah, well, I'm a big Hogan's Heroes fan. I've watched every episode. How did they get the dog to do the double take? Oh, to go like this? Well, the dog did it once, and then it was like it's an editing shot. So the dog didn't do that in real life. Yes, during the taping, it was like a tuk tuk, and then they did it again tuk tuk. So it was like, yeah, kind of cool. Does anyone know if the episode where Lucy was in Italy was a real fight in the wine vat between Lucy and the other lady? Davida, I hope I'm saying that right. I made a whole episode on that, and what actually happened to Lucy almost choked to death. Not even kidding. Like, that was real, according to her, and what she said happened, and there was a real reason for that. It was crazy. Again, I'm trying to limit my answers so I can get to as many people as possible, but I have a whole video on that. It's like a 10-minute video on that. So, yes. Do you play War Robots? I don't know what that is, honestly. Okay. I think I'm going to do one more show. I'll plug in some Gilligan's Island, but you can always ask me about pretty much anything, any show. I'd be happy to answer. I'd be happy to get to it. Thank you so much, as always, for continuing to watch and support, and for your likes and for your subscriptions. Like, it does mean a lot, because it's kind of the way that we keep going as YouTubers, really. And so I do appreciate that. By the way, t-shirts are in, links are in the description, mugs are in, all these cool things are in. So that's awesome. I was happy. I liked when they all came in, because I was like, I can send them to people now. And thank you all for I have to give big thanks for the pre-orders. Thank you, everyone who pre-ordered. Thank you to our Patreons. And thank you to everyone. So, yes. Okay. Ooh, The Kidnapper, the episode with Don Rickles on Gilligan's Island. Did you guys know it was on Gilligan's Island? Charlie, my favorite ever I Love Lucy episode is called The Movies. Home Movies, yes. What's my take on Archie's Place? I've never heard of that. What is that? What is that? Giveaway is a secret for this one, for this live stream. You gotta just send me your mailing address, and I'll pick someone and send it up. Sit right back here at Tail Hill and Fateboat Trip. Love it. Is Rick 9G from the apartment number? I don't know. I don't think they had an apartment number that much on Gilligan's. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm distracted by Gilligan. I don't think they had 9G in I Love Lucy. They had 3 and 4 because it was like apartment number 3 and 4, level 3 and 4. Have I ever seen Have I ever seen the show Alf? Wow, Rick, great job. Have I ever seen the show Alf? I have. As a kid, I watched probably every episode. I used to also watch the show The Dinosaurs, you know, that show with Jim Henson, kind of like lifestyle dinosaur puppets. There's like people inside and there's like robotic. Amazing, 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 amazing. The guy who did Not the Mama, Kevin Clash, was one time Elmo's voice. No longer. I won't get into that. If you guys want to look up why, you got to look into that. But yes, there's someone else doing Elmo's voice now. Sherwood Schwartz. Sherwood Schwartz was the man. Gilligan's Island, Brady Bunch. Very intelligent guy, very smart guy, very hardworking guy. Absolutely, absolutely true. Ricardo Cruz, great question. I've never seen you in the chat before, and I appreciate that you're on here. Great question. Have you ever met any of Lucy's kids? I have not met them. I have interacted and talked with Lucy Arnaz Luckenbill. She kind of connected with me on Facebook, her official account, and she actually said she watched one of my episodes. I actually connected with her because she commented on, I think it's season 4 bloopers or something. I think that one's it. And I pinned her comment. That was her. And that was really cool. She said she learned some things that she didn't know about her mom. So really, really cool. Isn't that cool how time flies? It's already 6 o'clock here, Pacific Standard Time. So yes. Thank you so much. Now, what I love about Gilligan's Island, remember, this show began in black and white and then transitioned into color in season 2. They had to change a lot of things in terms of outfits because a lot of people are asking why do the outfits change for like some of them not. Remember, the whole color thing, very bright. There's a lot of green. And so they had to be very aware of the difference in the black and white outfits and color scheme, versus the color scheme. The color scheme, yes. I did watch Land of the Lost, Dave. Absolutely. But I watched the one in the 90s. There was a 90s follow-up or remix. I was going to say remix. Whatever. They made it again. Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know how I could answer it, Yolanda. Like, she asked a great question. I really don't know if I have an answer. She says, what episode do you think kind of Lucy's real personality comes out as? Again, very serious. And I don't know because she was not like that on the show for the most part. She was really funny and silly. That's the thing. Watch her interviews. If you haven't watched her interviews, watch a good 3-4 interviews. You're going to be like, who is this woman? Like, so different from the silly, funny character. Same thing with Bob Denver, played Gilligan. So ditzy, so like dumb. That's what character he played. He was a high school teacher. He was super intelligent. He was super introverted. He was not like loud. He was not talkative at all. He uttered a few words on set, but then when the cameras rolled, he became that. And that's what I mean, that some of these performers, they transform so much. While other performers, not say that's better or not. Oh my God, he has a gigantic log. It's like sticking out in his body. Oh my gosh, Gilligan. What was I saying? Yeah, like for example, the skipper on Gilligan's Island, Alan Hell Jr., was exactly like that off camera. Not the angry part, but like the jovial, fun type character. That was him always, according to everyone on the show. So yeah, I have watched the Golden Girls. Not lately though. Yep. Not lately. Michael, you met Dawn Wells. I remember you told me about that. You sent me a picture of you like greeting her. She is awesome, right? She's a good person too. I heard like she's very nice. She actually, I want to keep saying this because I mean, how many people do this? And you guys not know, you may not know this. It's in my Gilligan's Island back video, and I'll just reveal that one. There's a lot more on there. She actually became really good friends with Natalie Schaefer. Natalie Schaefer wasn't married during most of the course of her life, especially when she was older and she got cancer. Dawn Wells became her almost personal caretaker, like for free, like as a friend, and almost like a mom to her. Natalie Schaefer was like a mom to Dawn Wells, and that's very interesting. Like that says a lot about her, like to be someone's caretaker when they're sick, right? When there was no connection to them family wise, just the show, right? And so that's really cool. Mr. Ed, I've never watched an episode, Ash. Never watched a full episode, but I definitely know what you're talking about. Yep. I just have to sit down and watch it one day. Modern comedy shows. Can you name some? Because honestly, I can't. I'm not saying there aren't, but I'm really not in the like the popular shit. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm so old in that sense. Like I don't know what are the popular. I can't name a popular sitcom right now because I know Big Bang Theory is like out. Right. That's pretty much all I know. But I'm talking about a good show. Are there even good shows? I'm sure there are, but I don't know one where, the style that's on right now is not my style. So never got into The Office. Nope. No. Now, Monica L., I've been told to watch Lost in Space. I've heard it's really good. Let me know what you think if you've seen it. Thank you, Sharon. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the day and be hopeful. Don't forget. Animes? I know nothing about animes. That's my brother's territory, not me at all. Taisha, thank you so much for coming to the live stream. And we see Mr. Hal putting the money for the kidnapper. Oh my gosh, Mr. Hal is great. Live taping of a TV show, not of a real TV show. I've seen I Love Lucy live, which mimics that. So no, that's a quick answer to your question. Oh, you don't watch any actual modern comedy shows? Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Joe, how are you? Thanks for serving. I see a lot of your comments, so I do appreciate that. Ash, you're 35, but you got an old soul. Sounds like me. Same thing. I've got an old soul. Like when someone's like, Rick, what are the good new shows? And I'm like, good? New? Show? Famous people have I met? I've seen a lot of famous people like in person, but like shake hand, not many that I can think of. And that's the thing. Like I know there's a few, but like I can't think of them. They're not like crazy. Andy Dick, do you guys know Andy Dick? I bumped into him at Barnes and Noble's once. And she was like, "Oh, excuse me," and he bumped into me. I was like, "I know that guy. I've heard of him." And it was him, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." So Cubs Crew, I will read this because this is awesome. So Betty White paid for your friend's Sunday brunch in California when you were a kid many years ago. You have a picture with her pinching my face tip. Well, she's very big into animal like rights and helping zoos and gorillas and stuff. And so she's a big donor. Like apparently she's really cool. You met Wolfman Jack. Who's that? I used to love the Oscars. I haven't watched much of it. Now, I was watching the Gilligan's Island movie, The Rescue from Gilligan's Island. It's right there. I can see it. And the thing with that is they use a different character or they use a different actress as Ginger. And I don't know, it didn't rub me the right way in the sense of she was so different. She didn't even seem like she was Ginger. She was just it seemed like she was just foreign to the character, and it didn't really work as well as Tina Louise. And the overall movie was okay. There was a weird vibe in the beginning. Like, it was just different. Something felt different. It wasn't the original set and things like that. And then most of that show didn't even most of the movie didn't even take place on an island. It took place like after. And so, it was good because it gave a closure to the show. So for that, I would say everyone should watch it who is a fan of the show. But yeah. Geez, Michael Ian, you met 16 celebrities? Holy moly. The Flintstones, yes, Flintstones, great show. And I am not discounting the idea of doing a channel just with like classic cartoons. Ooh, just like focus on the cartoon part of it. Because I want to put that here, but I feel like not that that's different, but it's like a different like cartoons. Like some people are just not into cartoons no matter what they are. And some people kind of like them because they're old or so forth. So yes, 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 yes. Is it weird to talk to a camera? At first, yes, but then it's not that bad. It's not that bad because you're you just focus. You just focus on what you're doing. I know not everyone can do it, which is interesting. I've seen Kevin Hart, the comedian Kevin Hart with the YouTuber, and a lot of the YouTubers have the camera like this and stuff, and people are like, oh, the YouTubers, whatever. Kevin Hart could not talk to camera. He's like, what do I say? And he was not being jokey. He literally could not say anything. He's like, I don't know what to say. And he was like, okay, like, hey, he's like, no, what are you doing? Like, he was like asking the camera questions and things that you don't do on the camera. So it was funny, his interaction, because he's not used to that. He's used to lines. He's used to coming up with like a comedic routine versus like vlogging. He didn't know how to do it. So it's kind of funny. But then you respect what it is. You respect what YouTube is in its own right? Yolanda, yes. So I still mention the cartoon channel, probably in the future, not something really. I want this channel to grow more so we can get more viewers. And then once this starts to pick up more steam, even more steam, then definitely that would be a great thing to do. Oh, awesome, Michael. Yeah, share the collage with me. Oh, see, I was just reading something and went. Verbal Volley. I Love Lucy is the greatest sitcom ever. Do you have any Lucy show favorites? I love Lucy and Viv put in the shower, and Lucy and Viv put up a TV antenna, and Lucy gets Jack Benny's bank account. I didn't watch the bank account one. I watched parts of the shower one. It's a pretty cool scene. It's a pretty funny scene as well. I didn't know that, Eloise, about the Flintstones being based on Honeymooners. That's pretty cool. I'm sure there's like a connection with Hanna-Barbera and so forth, but that's really interesting. Metropolis. Yes, there's a lot of conventions. I knew there was Lucy conventions back then, but not as much anymore. But yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your support with my mugs, my merchandise, my shirts, all that good stuff. You are amazing. I hope you're staying positive, hopeful. I hope you are just enjoying your week and have a great day and a great rest of your week. More videos will be coming out as always. I'm working on some for the week, so stay tuned. Make sure to hit that bell button. That lets you know when I upload, because then some people are like, I didn't know you put a video on. That's why I gotta hit the bell. And let it notify you, your phone, your email, whatever it is. So I appreciate it, guys and gals. Thank you so much. Always stay positive, and most importantly, be hopeful.